Hello to everyone. My caption is about universal design in San Juan de Lurigancho. Lima is a city developed in the context of urban conflicts, especially social inequality. 60% of people with disabilities have difficulties moving through the streets, entering establishments, running by bus, or even going to park due to lack of accessibility. There are more of 3 million people with disabilities in Peru, and Lima has a total of 88,606 people with disabilities. So the purpose of this study is to explore the actual status of public spaces for pedestrians with disabilities in Lima Metropolitana and determine whether the infrastructure and urban equipment are adequate, especially around educational buildings. So, how does the implementation of adequate urban equipment and infrastructure encourage inclusion around educational infrastructure? There are some problems in inaccessibility. First, the structural problems are derived from urban plans. Second, urban design problems in the projects proposed. Third, the maintenance problems are due to lack of consideration. And the last one is a problem of no compliance with regulations by citizens. That's why the built environment for people with disabilities is valuable, as it can prepare students for later life in the world outside the school. This research applies a mixed methods approach to first understand what are the current problems in San Juan de Lurigancho through a site analysis, identifying the external, contextual, and economic factors by comparing two cases, one in San Juan de Lurigancho and one in Tucson. And finally, ask students about their perceptions regarding accessibility via survey. So the area of analysis is a radius of 200 meters from the main figure to the front of the building, so we can have the same parameters for both cases. The first one, Los Pinos Special Needs School in Lima, Peru. The main observations were that in front of the school there were in some parts no sidewalk, yards around were some physical barriers and no pedestrian signs in any part. While in Arizona State School for the Deaf and the Blind in Arizona, United States, my main observations were that in front there were ramps and signs, but when you cross the street, this completely changes where the sidewalk is narrow and no path streets. So I've made the comparison of these two cases and I could get that in Los Pinos Special Needs School, no ramps, no pedestrian signs, no zebra lines, no traffic light, no protective floors. There were physical barriers and the need of periodic cleanup, while in the Arizona State School for the Deaf and Blind, the sidewalk was interrupted by vegetation, the pedestrian light emit sound, ramps in the corners of the sidewalk with the protected floor, but the similarities were that the lack of maintenance and the sidewalk width of 4 feet. 10 in my survey made to 10 students, 5 in UPC and 5 in CAPLA. The first question was, in this week, how many times did you were involved in accessibility problems in urban space? UPC students answered me that all of them have faced problems, while CAPLA students, only 3 of them have faced and 2 of them has not. And my second question was, in this week, in how many situations do you were involved in these accessibility problems? UPC students answered me between 3 and 7 cases, while couple students answered me between 1 and 4 cases that were involved. And my third question was an open one to know about the perception opinions about how why they think this happens. Um, both both UPC and couple students answered me that these have to be with laws established by the government, and so while they design, they have to follow that laws or rules. And in Peru, the UPC students told me that also they have these economic issues and the culture of people that don't care about these urban spaces. So I could observe that there are missing elements. In the case of Lima, there are no ramps or signs for the floor, while in Tucson, and these missing elements was a prototype floor all over the entire path. Also, the limited space in Lima and Tucson, there was of 4 feet, and the lack of maintenance were in both cases, there were some parts of the sidewalk broken, and in Tucson, there was the vegetation appears along the path, or the sign also appears in the sides of the sidewalk. Also, the obstacles in Lima were seen like the fences, and in Tucson, it's seen by the bus stops with the furniture. Also, the survey leads me to establish a difference in Lima. The majority of students use public transportation to get around the city, so they are constantly interacting with urban space. But Tucson students have their own cars, so they don't have so much interaction with these urban spaces. As a conclusion, I get that in Lima and the United States, having noticed that it's not food accessible to everyone, but Peru still lacks much more in the three methodologies applied. It was evident that there are obstacles and economic issues aspects that lead to lack of maintenance, conservation, and cleaning of the urban environment. Thank you.